Skip Bayless is one of the most universally recognized faces in sports media. Love him or hate him, one way or another, Skip Bayless gets his views. He's one of those guys that many have loved to hate, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure he'd have it any other way. In my most recent video, I talked about how the Russell Westbrook situation in Los Angeles had a giant magnifying glass on it. While that magnifying glass remains massive, Skip Bayless hasn't exactly been helping out. As a matter of fact, he's only been making matters worse, which to an extent is to be expected, but that also doesn't mean that anything that he does is warranted. This is somebody that takes virtually any opportunity that he can to badmouth Russell Westbrook and push his own agenda. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I wouldn't like it if every time I turned the TV on or got on social media, I had the same guy running his mouth trying to remind everybody how bad of a game or a season that I was having. And of course, as we all know, Skip Bayless isn't just some guy. He has a massive following. Guys, this video we have a ton to discuss, but before we go any further, let's get a word from our sponsor. I want to give a huge shout out to ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video. In just 6 seconds with ExpressVPN, you can change where sites think that you're located to show that you're from a different part of this planet. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering why you'd want to do something like this. Well, personally, I use ExpressVPN to be able to watch some of the coolest movies and TV shows that just aren't available in the US for whatever reason. With ExpressVPN, I'm able to gain access to over thousands of new shows in a matter of seconds on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, you name it. For everybody that loves Brooklyn Nine-Nine like me, did you know that it's available on Netflix, just not in the US? Gamers, ExpressVPN's encrypted connection and protection also helps to protect you against DDoS attacks from rival gamers or anyone who may just want to dig up your personal info. Guys, make sure you're staying protected and getting the most out of your streaming services today. Head on over to expressvpn.com/dcoop and use my link. If you use my link, you'll get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. That's a deal that's hard to beat. Again, I want to give a major shout out to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. I can't lie, I was a big fan of Shaq and a Fool, but every time that segment aired, it felt like Shaq had a personal vendetta or goal to go extra hard every time JaVale McGee screwed up. Jokes are funny, but I don't think many people want to continually be on the wrong end of them, especially when it's damaging your reputation in front of millions and millions of people on a consistent basis. Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr even admitted that he had a preconceived notion of JaVale McGee before he even logged a minute in Golden State. Did you guys know that at one point the JaVale McGee and Shaq beef got so bad that their mothers stepped in? The network got involved. Everything that went down was a mess. If the JaVale McGee and Shaq conundrum taught us anything, it's that these things can have lasting effects. And that I guess mothers are of course the real MVP, because Shaq said once his mom got involved that he really had to start to tone things down. Now let's be real, last season Russell Westbrook by no means had his best year, but he was far from an absolute scrub, at least in my opinion. This is somebody that averaged 22.1 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 8 assists in 23 games without LeBron James. His normal average of 18, 7, and 7 isn't too bad either. Towards the end of the season, he really started to play better basketball. Now, I know averages aren't everything, and there's so much more that goes into winning basketball other than stats. I'm just saying that I don't think that Westbrook was as bad as everybody believed. And again, this is something that I'm willing to repeat. The Los Angeles Lakers play in one of the biggest media markets in the association, with the Los Angeles Lakers also being one of the most decorated teams in the league. For Lakers players, the pressure and media presence of playing in LA has been a great fortune, but it also has had its downsides. Do you guys remember Magic Johnson being so frustrated with Russell Westbrook that he called him one of the worst point guards in NBA Finals history? That's pretty bad, right? Especially when you think of all the point guards that have played in the NBA Finals. And you especially think of the fact that Russell Westbrook has not made the finals with the Los Angeles Lakers at this time. Honestly, I'm not sure if Magic saying that is better or worse than the nasty agenda that Skip Bayless has been pushing. Skip being anti-Russell Westbrook is nothing new, but yesterday, he reached yet another breaking point for Russell Westbrook. June 23rd, Skip Bayless tweeted that the Lakers acquired a second-round pick to take Michigan State's Max Christie, who shot 32% from 3 last season. Perfect, he'll fit right in with LeBron and Skip's infamous nickname for Russell Westbrook. Remember when I told you guys that he reached yet another breaking point? Well, Westbrook replied to this tweet on Twitter saying, "Yo, watch your mouth. Don't say anything here that you wouldn't say to my face." That Westbrook tweet would go bonkers, racking up over 170k likes at the time that I'm making this video. Now, when I saw this reply, one of my first thoughts was there's no way Russell Westbrook would attack Skip Bayless, right? I mean, we've seen weirder things happen on sports shows.
Exactly.
Well, we got no problem with that.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
I just think this is an instance where Russell Westbrook is clearly tired of the disrespect. Like I said earlier, he's voiced his frustration with his nickname multiple times.
I think, for one, I 100% stand behind my wife and how she's feeling because it's not just about this year. Right now, she's reached a point, and my family has reached a point to where it's really weighing on them, and it's very unfortunate. Just for me personally, because this is just a game. This is just a game. This is not end all be all. And when it comes to basketball, I don't mind the criticism of missing and making shots, but the moment it becomes where my name is getting shamed, it becomes a issue. I've kind of let it go in the past, just because it never really bothered me, but it really kind of hit me the other day. Honestly, I was, me and my wife was at teacher-parent conference for my son, and the teacher told me, she's like, Noah, he's so proud of his last name. He writes it everywhere. He writes it on everything. He tells everybody, he walks around and says, I'm Westbrook, that's his last name. And I kind of sat there in shock, and it hit me like, damn, like I can no longer allow people, for example, Westbrook to me is now shaming, like it's shaming my name. It's my legacy for my kids. It's a name that means more, not just to me, but to my wife, to my mom, my dad, the ones that kind of paved the way for me. And that's just one example. I mean, that kind of hit myself and my wife in a place where it's not great, man. And I think a lot of times, I let it slide, but it's now time to put a stop to that and put it on notice. Like, there's a difference, and we need to make sure that it's understood. And every time I do hear it now, I will make sure that I address it and make sure that I nip that in the butt.
Now, as much as I'm on Westbrook's side, a reply is exactly what Skip wants in this situation. This guy is one of the most popular sports trolls that we've ever seen. If there's one thing that Skip Bayless knows how to do, it's milk a situation until there's absolutely nothing left. Now, maybe Skip eventually takes the high road and stays high, but that's not something that I bet my money on. Look at the screen right now. Am I really in the wrong for having my reservations when he's saying stuff like this? But hey, I've been wrong before, and I feel like in this day and age, almost nothing can surprise me. Do you guys think this Skip Bayless would say the nickname to Westbrook's face? He had a similar situation with Chris Bosh a while ago.
My thing is, my family, we take a lot of pride in our name. And my ancestors, my great-grandfather, my father, my grandfather, my aunts and uncles, we're very prideful with the Bosh name. And I don't like it being made fun of. And I don't think they appreciate it either. But, that's all, really.
I respect the Bosh name, but I have no regrets with referring to you occasionally, especially early and at mid-season, as Bosh Spice.
Unfortunately, with that situation, I'm sure he knew that Bosh was Bosh and just an absolute beast of a person that would be polite about the whole thing. That being said, I thought for sure that once the wife of Russell Westbrook got involved, he would stop. For those that forgot, March 4th, she replied to a Bayless tweet saying that you've got to stop calling people out of their name. You are very disrespectful and a bully. This is why so many young people think it's okay to exhibit this type of behavior. Social media has become such a heinous place because of people like you. My name is Westbrook. I'm tired of you calling my husband out of his name. It's extremely childish. That is my name as well, and many other people's name. You're disrespectful and I'm extremely offended by your behavior. You should apologize. I know I'm in the wrong for expecting more from Skip Bayless, but I mean, like, once somebody's wife gets involved, regardless of what the reasoning or rationale is, you just figure that somebody would stop doing what they're doing if there's any chance that that person could be in the wrong or be being disrespectful. I don't know, man. Everybody let me know what they think of this situation down in the comments below. Personally, I look forward to Westbrook reminding everybody how good he can be this upcoming season. It's crazy that things have to get to this considering everything that he's done throughout the course of his career. It's not like we're talking about somebody that warmed the bench for a majority of their career. We're talking about one of the most explosive point guards to play the game, and the guy that helped to make the modern triple-double boring. Again, let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop. Until our next upload.